Good evening. Tonight we examine the ripple effects of a major US-EU trade deal, one that promises to reshape economic ties across the Atlantic. Beyond the headlines and handshakes, this agreement has real-world consequences for workers, families, and investors. Who benefits and who pays the price? That's what we're here to uncover. We'll break down the immediate reactions, the impact on your wallet, and the future of this crucial alliance. Let's move past the political spin and get to the heart of what this deal truly means. Let's get started. In the wake of the announcement, President Trump took center stage, declaring the trade deal a historic win for America. With the spotlight firmly on him, he didn't just tout the agreement as a policy achievement, he framed it as a personal victory, a testament to his leadership and negotiating prowess. The president's words echoed through packed arenas and across television screens, as he promised that this deal would reshape the economic landscape for generations to come. The administration's message was clear. This was the ultimate validation of the America First agenda. Officials lined up to praise the deal, calling it a turning point that would put American interests above all else. The White House orchestrated a media blitz, ensuring that every image of the president holding the signed agreement was broadcast far and wide, reinforcing the narrative of a hard-fought victory. Supporters cheered, headlines praised the tough negotiating stance, and the optics were perfect, for now. Across the country, rallies erupted in celebration, with crowds chanting slogans and waving flags. Newspapers ran bold headlines, crediting the administration for standing firm and delivering results. For the president's base, this was proof that promises were being kept. But political victories are fleeting. The real test will be in the economic data that follows. Behind the scenes, analysts and economists began to sift through the details, searching for signs of real impact. Would the numbers back up the rhetoric, or would the celebration prove premature? The stakes were high and the pressure was on to deliver measurable results. Will American workers see more jobs and higher paychecks, or will the numbers tell a different story? On factory floors and in small towns, workers waited anxiously, hoping that the promises of prosperity would soon become reality. For many, the deal represented hope, a chance for better wages, more opportunities, and a brighter future. But skepticism lingered, as memories of past deals that failed to deliver still haunted communities. The administration has set high expectations, and every jobs report will be scrutinized. Each new set of employment numbers will be dissected by pundits and politicians alike, searching for evidence that the deal is working. The pressure to show progress is immense, and any sign of weakness could quickly become political ammunition for critics. If the deal delivers growth, the president's reputation as a deal maker is cemented. He will be able to point to tangible results, rising GDP, new jobs, and a revitalized manufacturing sector, as proof that his approach works. The narrative of a president who gets things done will be hard to challenge, but if exports stall or industries suffer, critics will pounce, and the narrative could unravel. Detractors are already watching closely, ready to highlight any negative trends or broken promises. Protests could erupt, and headlines could quickly shift from triumph to trouble if the numbers disappoint. The Rust Belt waits for a manufacturing boom, while Midwest farmers worry about shrinking markets. In these regions, the stakes are especially high. Factories that once bustled with activity now stand silent, and farmers face uncertainty about where their crops will go. For them, the success or failure of the deal is not just political, it's personal. The administration will work hard to spin every positive number, but reality will be the final judge. Press briefings will highlight every uptick, every new contract, every sign of progress. Yet, behind the scenes, advisors know that public opinion can shift quickly if expectations aren't met. For now, the president holds the trophy, a political win. The moment belongs to him, and the images of celebration will be replayed for months to come. But the glow of victory is always temporary in Washington. But whether it remains a symbol of triumph or becomes a liability depends on what happens next. The future of the deal and the president's legacy hangs in the balance, shaped by forces both within and beyond his control. The clock is ticking, and the data is coming. Every day brings new numbers, new stories, and new challenges. The nation watches, waiting to see if the promises made will be the promises kept. This is just the first chapter. The story of this trade deal and its impact on America has only begun to unfold. The next chapters will be written not in speeches or headlines, but in the lived experiences of workers, families, and communities across the country. The real verdict is still to come. Only time, and the hard evidence of economic change, will determine whether this victory lap was truly earned or just another moment in the ever-shifting story of American politics. While politicians gather in front of cameras, exchanging smiles and handshakes, the mood in Washington is one of celebration. They tout the new trade deal as a major victory, promising it will strengthen the nation's economy and protect American jobs. But for millions of American consumers, the reality is far less cheerful. As the news breaks, families across the country brace for the impact, wondering how the changes will affect their daily lives and monthly budgets. The deal introduces a sweeping 15% tariff on a broad range of European imports, everything from specialty cheeses and fine French wines to German cars and everyday household goods. These are products that many Americans have come to enjoy and rely on, now suddenly caught in the crossfire of international negotiations. For shoppers, the consequences are immediate and visible. Prices at the grocery store begin to climb, with imported foods and beverages becoming luxury items overnight. At the car dealership, sticker shock sets in as European models become even more expensive, putting them out of reach for many families. For families already struggling to make ends meet, these price hikes mean tough choices. There's less money left over for essentials like rent, healthcare, and education. The pressure on household budgets grows, forcing parents to rethink their shopping lists and cut back on small pleasures. Small businesses and restaurants, too, are caught in the squeeze. Owners who rely on imported ingredients or products must decide how to respond to rising costs. Do they raise menu prices and risk losing customers? Do they cut quality to save money, or try to absorb the losses and hope for better days? Each option comes with its own set of risks, and none are easy. The administration insists that this pain is only temporary, a necessary sacrifice to give American industries a fighting chance. Officials argue that, in time, domestic producers will step up to fill the void, creating jobs and boosting the economy. But that's a big assumption. Can American factories ramp up production quickly enough? Will they be able to match the quality and variety of goods that consumers are used to? For now, those questions remain unanswered, leaving many to wonder if the promised benefits will ever materialize. Meanwhile, the threat of European retaliation looms large. If Europe responds with tariffs of its own, American exporters could find themselves shut out of key markets, putting jobs in agriculture, manufacturing, and other sectors at risk. For most Americans, the result is clear: higher prices at the checkout, fewer choices on store shelves, and a sense that their dollars just don't go as far as they used to. The challenge of making ends meet becomes even more daunting, especially for those living paycheck to paycheck. Every trip to the store is a reminder of how quickly costs can add up. This isn't inflation driven by a booming economy or rising wages. It's inflation by policy, an increase in prices created by government decisions, not by growth or prosperity. The administration promises that the pain will be short-lived and the rewards will come in time. But for families and businesses, the cost is immediate and unavoidable. Every day that passes, the burden grows heavier. In this new era of trade conflict, it's ordinary consumers who find themselves on the front lines. They're the ones paying more at the register, stretching their budgets and making sacrifices. The impact of the deal isn't some distant, abstract concept. It's felt in every shopping trip, every bill, and every tough decision about what to buy and what to leave behind. For millions of Americans, this isn't a win to celebrate. It's a loss that hits home, making daily life just a little bit harder. As families search for ways to stretch every dollar, the challenge of getting by in an uncertain economy just got even tougher. In the world of finance, the announcement of the trade deal sent a ripple of optimism through global markets. For weeks, investors had been on edge, watching headlines and market tickers with bated breath, uncertain about what the future might hold. Suddenly, stock markets surged from Tokyo to New York, all thanks to one thing: certainty. The deal didn't just move numbers on a screen, it shifted the mood of the entire financial world, replacing anxiety with a cautious sense of hope. Investors hate unpredictability, and the looming threat of a trade war had cast a long, chilling shadow over the markets. Every tweet, every rumor, every new tariff announcement sent shockwaves through portfolios and retirement accounts. With the deal in place, the rules are finally clear. Companies can plan for the future, investors can commit capital with more confidence, and risk becomes something that can be measured and managed, rather than feared. For multinational corporations, this clarity means stable supply chains and the ability to craft long-term strategies without constantly looking over their shoulders. It's a green light for expansion, hiring, and investment. Analysts and economists quickly pointed out that while the deal wasn't perfect, it was a crucial step toward restoring order. The sense of relief was palpable, not just among traders, but across boardrooms and newsrooms worldwide. The market rally wasn't about loving every detail of the agreement, but about the collective exhale that chaos had been averted. Relief, more than excitement, fueled the surge. Even with some tariffs still in place, certainty is far preferable to the constant threat of escalation. Businesses and investors can adapt to known challenges, but uncertainty is paralyzing. Pension funds and retirement accounts, which millions depend on for their futures, benefit from rising markets. When stocks climb, so do the balances in 401(k)s and IRAs, boosting wealth and confidence for families everywhere. Of course, not every sector comes out ahead. Importers of European goods, for example, may still face higher costs and tough choices, but the overall verdict from Wall Street is clear. Stability is back, and that's good for business. The deal also sends a powerful message to other nations. The U.S. is capable of closing big agreements, potentially paving the way for more diplomatic breakthroughs and easing tensions elsewhere. For small businesses, the ripple effects are real. More stable markets mean easier access to loans, more predictable costs, and the confidence to invest in growth and new jobs. Yet, it's a classic Wall Street versus Main Street divide. Investors celebrate stability and rising asset values, while many consumers still feel the pinch of higher prices and lingering uncertainty in their daily lives. Still, the benefits of rising markets are tangible: higher 401(k) balances, easier capital for businesses, and a renewed sense of optimism about the economy's direction. For the financial world, the end of uncertainty is a win that can't be overstated. It's the difference between hesitation and action, between fear and opportunity. The deal's biggest immediate winners are investors, who now have a clearer path forward, and companies who can finally make decisions with greater confidence. In the end, certainty is priceless. In a world where so much is unpredictable, having clear rules and a stable outlook is the foundation on which prosperity is built. Across the Atlantic, the deal exposed deep divisions within the European Union. Publicly, EU leaders showed unity, but behind closed doors, the agreement has fueled resentment and mistrust. Germany's export-driven economy may accept the tariffs as damage control, but southern European nations feel betrayed. French, Italian, and Spanish producers see their industries sacrificed to protect German cars. Smaller countries accuse Brussels of favoring the big players, undermining the principle of solidarity. This discord strengthens nationalist movements and weakens the EU's collective power. Some members feel sidelined, believing the deal was rushed without proper consensus. The result, a fractured bloc, with trust eroding between nations. The EU's strength lies in unity, but this deal challenges that foundation. The American strategy exploited these divisions, making a unified response difficult. Now, the EU faces internal strife that could outlast the trade dispute itself. The cost isn't just economic, it's political, threatening the very fabric of the Union. The deal may have ended one conflict, but it's ignited many more within Europe. For the EU, the price is measured in lost trust and weakened solidarity. The wounds from this deal may take years to heal. So what's the final tally? A political win for the president, higher costs for consumers, relief for investors, and a divided Europe. This deal isn't a simple win or loss. It's a web of consequences, with gains for some and pain for others. The real impact will be felt in everyday lives, at the checkout counter, in retirement accounts, and in international alliances. The question isn't just who won today, but what the long-term price will be. The story is still unfolding, and the final verdict belongs to you, the people living with the results. Our job is to keep asking questions and holding leaders accountable. Thanks for watching.